What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Deontay Wilder. Once again, Wilder makes a lot of statements. Wilder makes a lot of things known, okay? And he made another thing known. He states that Dominic Brazil is not an Anthony Joshua leftover. Now, he goes on to explain why he's not a leftover. He's not a leftover. No fighter is a leftover because if a fighter gets defeated, he could always fight and get respect back, build himself back up, and live to fight another day. And therefore no one is a leftover. Okay. Let me counterpunch this, guys. Deontay Wilder is right. But once again and again, he puts his foot in his mouth, okay? Based on his own logic, his own doctrine. He was the main one that said, oh, Dillian Whyte is Anthony Joshua's leftovers, right? He said that. I'm not fighting Anthony Joshua's leftovers. He's Anthony Joshua's leftovers. He's a peasant. Do you remember the rant? He's a king, so he chases kings. And what king has he slayed since he said that? None. However, him saying, oh, Dominic Brazil is not a leftover because of this newfound doctrine that you just created is BS, okay? Because just because you're fighting Dominic Brazil, just because he fought someone that Anthony Joshua defeated, doesn't mean that he has to get so defensive about this all the time. Because here's the deal. He's a mandatory, for Christ's sake. So you had no choice but to fight him eventually. So it's no use and reason for your ego to get that big to make up some shit like this, because this is all made up. Okay, this is made up. You know what I mean? So he should really practice what he preaches and really remembers what he says, because you can't say, oh, that's Dillian Whyte, somebody as rich as regarded as 4 or 5 in the world, best heavyweights. You can't calling him a leftover. But now Dominic Brazil is not, just because you're fighting him? Come on, man. Let's be real. Let's counterpunch this another way. If Deontay Wilder, if there was someone else that was fighting Dominic Brazil besides himself, he would call them Anthony Joshua's leftovers. You know what I mean? You can't be biased when it comes to yourself, when it comes to fighting. He's a mandatory. You're going to have to fight him. It's okay. You don't have to get defensive and let your ego run wild with, no, he's not a leftover. Now he's not. Yes, he is. He is a guy that's been beaten by your rival. That's what he is. Okay? So it's okay to call him that, even if it's you. You know what I mean? So I don't see why this is really a big deal, So I don't even see why he had to talk on it. But since he talked on it, I have to counterpunch it because it makes no sense. That's what I do. That's how it goes. As long as he keeps saying silly shit, I'm going to have to keep counterpunching this shit, the silly shit, to people that have sense. Okay? So for Deontay Wilder, once again, to state that he will never fight anyone that anyone else will ever defeat is garbage. Okay? That's grass. Okay? Because he is right, though. He is right. The beginning, what he had to say. He would have been correct, like nobody's anyone else's leftovers, because styles make fights. Okay? And whoever fights each other, when you combine these styles, that's who wins, and that's how that's going to evolve out. It's going to turn out a certain way. Okay? So Dominic Brazil might give Deontay Wilder problems, but that doesn't mean if Deontay Wilder fights Dominic Brazil and he has problems with Dominic Brazil, doesn't mean Deontay Wilder can't hit Anthony Joshua with one of those crazy ass haymaker bionic right hands he has in the show. It does not mean that. So if he understood that, if he had more confidence in himself, he should realize that without being defensive like he was doing so in this article. Okay? That's the thing. Styles make fights. It doesn't mean that Anthony Joshua was better. The only way we're going to find out if Anthony Joshua was actually better, if they fight. So it's okay, Deontay. Don't get all bent. Don't get all emotional. Calm down. And you're fighting Anthony Joshua's leftovers. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think about his statement. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.